Ladies and gentlemen, welcome tonight to another edition of NASCAR 06 Total Team Control on the channel. We are Truck Series racing on a Saturday evening in the month of January at the Rockingham Raceway. Yes, today we are at The Rock, and now it is time to get this season down to the wire. We have just 6 races to go into tonight's race. 5 races left once the checkered flag flies, and our driver leads in the point standings by 127 points coming into today's race. That driver being Ricky Craven. It has been a very good season so far. 8.7 average finish, 8 victories on the year in the first 19 races, 14 top 10s, 11 top 5s, and just under 1,000 laps led on the season. 35 laps led away exactly from 1,000. And it is time to see if he can win from the pole once again here tonight. Be sure to hit the like button, subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. We are about to get tonight's racing underway. Welcome, everybody. Appreciate the support as always. Sorry for the delay. I actually forgot it was my grandpa's birthday today, so I felt really, really bad. I was like, oh, grandpa's coming over tonight. I was like, that's kind of odd. Out of nowhere, I'm like, oh, shoot, it's his birthday. Otherwise, I probably would have waited to set the stream to like 9 o'clock or something later, just to give myself more time. So I apologize for that. That completely slipped by me. Apologize to him first and foremost for forgetting until he kind of shocked me out of nowhere. So yeah, I don't know. I've been really busy the last couple days, hence why we haven't been streaming the last couple of nights on the channel. But that slipped by me in the process of all that. So yeah, I apologize to you guys too, obviously, for making you wait today, but it was not what I was expecting. All right, but yeah, thanks for everybody tuning in. Derek Booth in the chat, Wade Selinsky, Billy Kramer, No Torres, Corey Freet, Rick, NASCAR Cup Series 2311 Racing, Jackson Thomas, Patrick Shadley, and others. Welcome into the stream. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Let's get into this race. 200 laps for the Sunset 200 at the Mr. Clean Speedway, aka Rockingham, on this game. And the top 2 in points will be on the front row. 197 laps. The green flag is in the air. And on the start, who will lead the opening lap? Contact already off of turn 2. A big stack up there. Montgomery's going to get to the lead as a result. Big save by Ricky Craven as he falls back to about 4th place before finding himself back on the inside line. And Montgomery's going to lead lap 1 after the contact between the 99 and the 6. Good thing we stayed green there. No caution. A lot of smoke on the back straightaway from that contact. A little rusty not playing in a few days. I haven't played NASCAR 06 since last Sunday on the channel, so it is very weird to go from one game to another when we played only NASCAR 22 during the week, and you come to this because the handling is a lot different. It felt weird just in qualifying. Jeffrey Giordano, thanks for tuning in. Hornaday definitely got the worst of that contact. He fell back I don't even know how many spots, but he's nowhere to be found right now. And despite Craven qualifying on the pole, it was Montgomery who qualified outside of the front row who got to the lead early. A little contact behind with a couple trucks getting together after one truck got into the wall. Side by side right in front of Hornaday as Craven rather, charges the corner hard. 153 might have scraped the wall off the exit of turn 2. That was very close. Tough to tell for sure. Montgomery pulling away though in the early going. He's got a bad fast race truck. It's going to be tough for him to make up all 127 points tonight without Ricky Craven having a terrible finish, but Craven trying to do his job, just get a good finish. More competitive racing going on in front of the 99. Big dive down to the bottom of the racetrack, maybe a little too much. It's going to cut the corner exit speed down just a little bit. And another deep dive into turn 3. A lot of aggressive racing in the early going of this one. Side by side again, right in front of Craven. Craven a little loose in that time. Bill Lester in the 22 truck up to 5th, right on the back bumper of the 99. 2-second lead already for Montgomery in the 18 truck. He's tied for the second most wins this year, 6 behind points leader Ricky Craven. More side-by-side racing going on. Up towards the front of the field. Very difficult to pass. Can't really get a run to get to the inside of anybody. Back at fourth, though, go the 153, and I can't tell. I think it's the 86, maybe the 56. Can't tell what number that is. The graphics. The apron, luckily, does not spin you out here at Rockingham. Very forgiving in this game. That's why Craven clips it from time to time, and he's able to hold the corner. The problem is, though, it does cost him on the corner exit, and that's also going to cost him there because Bill Lester makes an impressive pass on the outside of Ricky Craven. Craven almost didn't even drive deep enough into the corner, allowed the 22 to get to the outside. Craven back to the inside of him, though, off of turn 4. Got to stay on the attack here. Very deep dive. Let's get back to the inside of Lester. And he will clear him off turn 2, barely. Get back into fourth. Does anybody have anything for Chase Montgomery tonight? Because he is just set sail. Lester in the wall off turn 4. He'll lose a spot to Bobby Hamilton. 10 laps complete, all led by Montgomery. He's in dire need of a lot of bonus points after 2 finishes outside the top 30 in 2 of the last 3 races. That is why he not only lost the points lead, but is quite a ways out of the points lead from Ricky Craven. Craven had a pretty rough finish himself in the last race of 29th and still has a 127-point lead. I can't wait till Daytona. Craven definitely keeping up with the second and third place trucks, but I don't know if anybody's got anything for Chase Montgomery. It is very hard to hit your marks all the way through the corner here at Rockingham if you're Ricky Craven right now. The truck feels good when he is able to hit his marks. He's just having a very difficult time of trying to run a consistent line. And I think we'll get better and better as the race goes on once I get used to the race truck and the handling and the more laps we get into this race. The problem is, obviously, as we know, with the truck in the Busch Series races, they're much shorter. So maybe the chance of having a good run more later in the race isn't going to be as likely due to the lack of laps in the lead up to that. Likely only had 1 pit stop in today's race as well, so you're not going to have many different times to try to adjust the race truck and get the handling to where your driver needs it to be in order to try to run down for the win late. Craven finally taking a peek to the inside, trying to get back into third. He's going to have a really good look at it. Down on the bottom lane, slides up, a little contact, but the pass is not made yet. Has to slide back in line right in front of the 04 of Hamilton. That contact really slowed Craven down, and we are very early in this race, but Chase Montgomery is on a whole nother planet right now. He is just ridiculously fast. Craven finally fights his way to third. If he can get a little clean air on the nose of that race truck, I think that would help. He can get up to second place. He'll have a good opportunity to do that. 3.5 seconds off the lead. He really got off turn 4 well that time. He's going to have a look to the bottom into turn 1 for second place. Locks the front tires up, makes contact. Overdrove it, and he's going to lose third. Probably could have been a little more aggressive on the back straightaway with a block. Try to hold on to third place. All this battling for position, definitely allowing the 18 to get away also. Slide job into the corner by Craven. Will he slide clear? He does not. And that costed him. Now the 04 is going to be the outside, but he's not going to clear him going into the corner, so Hamilton might be in danger of losing a spot to Bill Lester. And that is the case. Lester back into P5. Raven taking a peek to the outside now. Sizey, welcome into the stream. Raven a little more aggressive at the block on Lester that time. The one place he's lacking right now seems to be right off the exit of turn 2. A block on the front stretch on the 22 truck. I am all over the place right now. I'm struggling. Not that the truck is handling that bad, I'm just not driving it very well. I think the lack of sleep probably has a lot to do with it. I didn't get home till like quarter till midnight last night, and I still had to get up at 4:30 this morning to go to work. Giants gonna win tonight? I have them covering the spread. So, I mean, if they win, it helps, I guess. As long as they lose by a touchdown or less. 7 points or less. That's all I'm hoping for. So crucial for Montgomery not to let Craven get any bonus points for leading a lap at the very beginning of the race today. Be interested to see what exactly the pit strategy is going to end up doing. Craven getting a little tight right now. Truck not really sticking too well in corner entry anymore. Bill Lester's on his inside into turns 3 and 4. Craven going to have to try to give Lester a little room. Lester makes contact. Craven going to try for the crossover down into turn 1, and there's more contact. Lester kind of crowded him that time. Really, both corners. Craven's just slowly going backwards. Hornaday looking for a spot on the 22. And he's got it. Craven again to the inside of Bill Lester. One of the few trucks he has been able to pass already in the race today. And he initially fell back to 5th. Now he's back into 5th place again, getting by the 22 truck. Chiefs won 27-20. Yeah, I saw Mahomes got hurt earlier. Then he came back. Yeah, this truck's just a little too tight. Definitely going to have to free it up when we get to that first pit stop. We'll take our first field pass of the race today. We'll go to Todd Kluver in the 50 truck. Not sure exactly where he started in today's race. He is well deep in the field right now, back in 29th. He's got a lot of work cut out for him if he's going to want a solid finish today. A little slide job getting into turn 1. That gets him 1 spot back as he's up to 28th. A lot more to go from there. Still caution free. Kluver down to the inside. They're going to be 3 wide off the exit of turn number 4. Contact up on the top. Kevin Harvick is almost around. Middle of the front stretch. Oh, Kluver gets body slammed. Down into turns 1 and 2 now. I don't think that truck's really saw him on the inside. Kluver moving forward though. And back to Craven we go. Marvin Sheth out of nowhere up to 5th. He actually won the last race. Shot missed something for the race. Don't seem as fast. Yeah, I don't know. I qualified really well, but it just does not feel like I have a lot of speed. We're definitely going to have to make some adjustment changes during the first stop, which is, again, likely going to be the only stop. It could be a 2-stop race today, but more than likely just going to be 1 stop. Truck's just too tight. Even when I hit my marks right. Coil Prod, thanks for tuning in. Lester down to the inside. He's been crowding Craven every time he gets alongside of him. This time he gives him a little bit of breathing room. They're still side by side. Ron Hornaday, by the way, up to second. Rainer Martinez, welcome into the stream also. Big dive by Craven getting into turn 1. Bobby Hamilton has kind of been stuck behind Craven this entire time. He's had chances to try to make a pass on him, just hasn't been able to do it yet. Craven looking for a pass for position this time into turn 1. Overdrove the corner and made contact up the track he goes, but even though he got the pass made, he's going to lose 2 spots to Hattori and Bobby Hamilton. And now he's going to end up giving the spot back up again. He's just way too tight. He dove it in way too deep that time, too, when he was on the inside trying to make too aggressive of a move, but the truck just really wants to wash up the track a lot on quarter entry. Especially. Craven now back to 9th. He continues to free fall. And if this is likely to be a 1-stop race today, it's going to be tough to try to get this track position. Raven, that time the slide job worked. Well, never mind. It was going to. Caution's out. Jeez Louise, I've never seen a vehicle dart that quickly up the racetrack as I did right there. That was me basically letting go of the analog stick because I realized there was a truck underneath me at the last second. I didn't want to wreck him and ended up pounding the wall, and the truck ran into me from behind instead. And that caused the wreck. And now Craven's got to go to the tail end of the field here, which is going to be even worse for himself in the early going. Everybody else stays out. That was a pretty hard lick into the outside wall for Craven. He's going to have about 4.1 seconds of damage. Can't take fuel or tires, causing the accident there, our first caution. And it's not good because you can't make any adjustments in this situation either. Tell you what, between this race and our most recent truck race, it is a tough it out, grind it out kind of finish to the season. Not the night Craven wanted with Chase Montgomery as good as he has been all day. Green flag back in the air. Montgomery's led the first 41 laps. But now the field is compacted together again for the first time since the start of the race. As we now have our first restart. Craven gonna have to work from the tail end of the field. New leader though off turn 4, Ryan Hornaday times the restart out well enough to get by the 18 of Montgomery. First lap Montgomery has not led today. First time he's really been pressured though at the same time too. Just did not take off well in the restart, or at least not well enough compared to the 6. I can't hold the bottom. I tried to get underneath another truck and make passes, and I just run right in the side of him every time. And I don't think the damage on the right side of the truck after pounding that concrete wall, bringing out that last caution, is helping either. So it feels tighter now than it did before. Saw the 106 wiggle quite a bit, but Raven's still trying to hold on to positioning down into the corner, and that truck went all the way to the apron, going into turn 3, which led to the contact between the two trucks at the tail end of the field there. Craven makes a pretty nice save, but will lose a lot of interval time between himself and even the trucks at the tail end of the pack. We stay green. Another near wreck. It didn't really result in a caution or an accident of any way. Alternate through the different camera angles for the first time today, but this 99 truck is just not right. I've definitely been rusty though. The truck is too tight, but at the same time, I have not been perfect myself at all. Far from it. See, that's the problem. When I used to streaming every day, and you take a couple days off like that, it really does mess with your rhythm when you get back into it. You're just so used to just, you know, hopping on 6, 7 o'clock every day and then getting the stream started. Even if it's a different game, I can usually adjust it within the first, like, dozen laps or so, but give me a few laps up to speed and I'll get the hang of it. But that has been far from the case today, and it has resulted in this poor performance. Does seem like the 99 slowly starting to catch up the trucks at the very tail end of the field. We still have a long ways to go in this race, though. We're only on lap 50 of 197. Saw some sparks flying off turn 2 up there. Some trucks making contact. Craven in dire need of a caution. He's at the tail end of the field now, so if we do see a yellow that he's not involved in any way, then he could choose to take tires. Craven backed out of it quite a bit getting into turn 3 that time. It could have been a little more aggressive to try and stay underneath the 153. Montgomery, by the way, was able to take the lead at least a little bit ago away from Ron Hornaday. Craven maybe not clear of the 153 yet. Into turns 3 and 4, he'll try to clear him, and he will with a clean pass. He's got to go one spot at a time. Field really starting to break up in the middle of the pack right now. Raven with a deep dive down to the bottom. A lot of contact there. A lot of contact. Now the 3 wide. Craven boxed in. Gets enough turn in the truck that time to finally complete the pass for 32nd. Just can't get off turn 2. Even when I clear trucks, feels like I almost hold them up enough if there's a truck down on the bottom to get right back under me, or pretty darn close to it nearly every time. It's a great crossover corner for anybody to try to make some passes on the 99. All that time that Craven was at the front of the field, or at least inside the top 10, even though he was falling backwards. He was in 9th when that first caution came out. Now he's behind his teammate Todd Kluver. He's been outside the top 25 the entire race. again, we still have a long ways to go. Kluver dive bombs underneath of Kevin Harvick. Couple trucks making contact up into the wall right in front of Ricky Craven. That's 2 free positions to get him up to 30th. Halfway out of gas, definitely a one-stop race today, even with the caution. Caution should actually help him a little bit more, but I should say without the caution, it looks like we would have made it on one stop anyway, which is what I was expecting coming in. Truck Series having a bit bigger of a field window than the Busch and the Cup Series in this game for some reason. That was the fastest lap of the day for Craven. But look at all the traffic in front of him. Good luck going anywhere, making some passes. Especially with a tight truck, because now he's in even heavier traffic as he side drafts Kevin Harvick down into turns 3 and 4. Make a pass on the 92 truck for 29th. And quickly to the inside of the 117 for 28th. Have to stick quite a bit that time in the middle of 1 and 2. Kluver moving his way through the field all of a sudden. Still a handful of positions yet ahead of Craven. Craven with a big dive, getting into the corner, barely clear. That was an aggressive move, but it panned out for him. And he holds on to 27th. He didn't slide up too far wide to give up the bottom that time off turn 2 like he had happened to him a couple times when he tried a slide job earlier on in this green flag run and even before this green flag run earlier in the race. It's very bottlenecky right in the middle of the pack. Just do not like that. It's also not good if we get a crash right in front of Craven because you're not going to have anywhere to go with this many trucks underneath one another on a very narrow racetrack. On most racetracks, but especially one as tight as this. Raven on the inside of the 30 truck of Chad Chafin. A dive and a little bit of contact. Net gain in that corner of 0. 103 was able to get by both the 99 and the 30. See 99 move up the track again there off turn 4. Big block on the 30 of Chafin. That's going to cost him a spot or 2 on the front stretch. And, I mean, Craven just can't get the truck down to the bottom on a consistent basis. It's crazy how sometimes it works perfectly fine, like there's nothing wrong with the truck, and other times it just goes straight up the hill and doesn't even give him a chance to rotate into the corner. I don't know if it's it's kind of a combination of being that far off and that close at the same time to the right setup. Kluver finds himself on the outside all of a sudden. Where's Matt Craft? Crafton's not in this game. Which is weird because he was in NASCAR 05, but he's not in NASCAR 06 for some reason. Raven can hold the bottom in the 3 and 4 this time. He should be in decent shape. That is the case. Quickly to the inside of the 86. .8 seconds off the lead from Chase Montgomery right now as Craven drives himself up to 23rd. As long as he gets a top 20, he should have the points lead. Even with all the laps Montgomery's led today and the fact that Craven hasn't led a single lap. Nice pass through turns 1 and 2. Oh, contact trouble! Truck heading down towards the inside wall off of turn number 3, or turn 2 rather, but no caution. There's some contact back there. I couldn't tell exactly who made the contact. Big dive into turn 1, and Craven almost made contact with his teammate that time as he's in 22nd. You can see the smoke starting to slowly dissipate now in the back straightaway following the contact the lap before by the trucks right out of the rearview mirror of Ricky Craven. The truck that was on the inside of that contact just started beelining for that inside retaining wall. Must have kept it off it because we stay green. That would have been a much needed caution for Ricky Craven. Try to go off strategy a little bit here. Get some fresh tires back on the truck. I'm willing to give up track position for fresh tires at this pace, mainly just to try to adjust the truck more than anything. Too much of a dive into turns 1 and 2. Actually clipped the 50. Got a truck blowing up on the inside of the racetrack. That's a spot. One of the fantasy drivers couldn't tell what number it was, though. That moves Craven to 21st. Considering he was last on the restart, he's actually made his way almost halfway through the field. Truck still trying to get to pit road down on the bottom of the track. Actually, that was another truck that blew an engine because now we're up to 20th. Make that... no, not quite 19th. 19 into the wall off turn 2. Yeah, but that was another free spot, though, for Craven. Gets to the inside off turn 4. Side draft. Pass made in turns 1 and 2 for 19th. Crossover ensuing. Contact holds up the 119. Up the hill a little bit, there goes Ricky Craven. Getting closer and closer to the edge of that pit window. The longer we stay green during this current green flag run, nobody pitted for fuel or tires during the first and only caution of the race. Back around lap 40. Craven looking for a deep dive underneath Clover. He got into his teammate for a second time. That's going to be a pass for 18th. Not really the way you'd like to pass a teammate, but Craven's truck has been that tight today, and anytime he gets underneath another truck and has to push hard to do so, he has been making contact with them. See, that time it stuck really well through 1 and 2. One of the better times he has gotten through that corner, especially since the restart. A little more clean air, though, after getting by the 50. He's got a little bit of a gap until he gets to the 86 truck, I believe, is the next one in front of him. Actually, make that 82. And the 110 right in front of him. Hendrick fans, thanks for tuning in. Alternate through the different camera angle once again in today's race. Final time we'll do this. About the next 6 laps. Haven't seen anybody pit yet. Mark DeMars also welcome into the stream. Big run for Craven to the inside of the 82. Not quite clear yet. But he'll hold the bottom into turns 3 and 4 with the deep dive. It'll make the pass for 17th. Even though the interval time is still being lost to the race leader, gotta give Craven a lot of credit for driving this ill-handling race truck all the way up inside the 16th place position and may have a shot at 15th here before long. I mean, the top 10's within sight. 10th place truck right at the front of this line. Slide job for Craven, clear in the middle. Truck in the wall off of turn 2 behind him. Puts a little bit of separation for Craven, and that'll help him out into 3 and 4. Less pressure there. Tristan Games also welcome into the stream. Way up on the outside was Craven that time through 1 and 2. He really missed the mark. Kept it off the wall, though. Didn't really lift any extra. Actually had a decent amount of grip up there. So 2 trucks out of the race with engine failures, both fantasy drivers. Unable to see exactly who they were, but Craven has brought himself into 15th. After restarting back in last, he was involved in the caution earlier. He got into the wall, and then a truck made contact into the back of him after the fact in turn 2. So even though Craven hit the wall pretty hard, honestly, not too much damage. As you can tell on the race truck right now, there's not too much damage, which is why it still has some speed. This is about as fast as he's really been today, about 15th. It's kind of fitting for how the truck has been handling so far. Honestly, it probably deserved to be running 15th. Both from that and just not hitting my marks very well, but we'll see. Yeah, definitely stay safe with that tornado warning. Seek shelter. Can't wait to get to pit road. Craven's still making gains right now on the 10 truck of Terry Cook in front of him. Cook, a one-time winner this season, well outside the top 10 in points. Got that win very early on this 2005 campaign. Crazy thing is for Craven, he's got an 8.7 average finish. That was even with the last race finishing at 29th. Average finish was down around a 7.0 right before that. Big dive into the corner. A lot of contact there. Craven drove it in really deep, but the 10 probably didn't realize that the 99 was there with how deep Craven drove it into the corner, which led to the contact. Probably a little bit of folding on both sides there. Cook had to go down and try to block him this time on the front stretch. No chance for Craven to make a pass there. .3 second lead. We've got some trucks on pit road just shy of the halfway mark right now. Fuel window must be open to make it to the end of the race. Craven into the back of Terry Cook. Montgomery leads another lap. He's led all but just a few laps in today's race. Probably very close to clinching the most laps led already. Quite a few trucks on pit road. Probably over half the field is in the pits as we speak. Craven's staying on the track, though, just in case we get a caution. Doesn't want to get trapped a lap down on this roughly 1 mile racetrack. Heavy on the brakes that time into turn 1. Now that was due to the fact that he almost got into the back of the 10 of Cook getting into the corner. That's why he drove so low, trying to make sure he wasn't going to hit him. .100 laps to go, next time by. Brandon Witt gonna pit. Craven should be in the top 10 off turn 4 this time with a couple trucks pitting in front of him. That was the case. Down on the bottom. Able to make a pass there also. Ron Hornaday back in the lead for the second different time now as Chase Montgomery has pitted from the lead. Todd Kluver into the pits. That's Craven's teammate. Lap 100. Craven to 6th. 6 trucks still in the lead. There's Montgomery coming out of the pits. Even the 99's a full lap ahead of him for right now. Hornaday still stays on the track. I don't think any lead lap trucks pit that time by, in fact. Definitely nobody in the top 5 in front of the 99 who gets into the back of the 10. Terry Cook is back in turn 1 up a lot more than a lot of other drivers. That has caused Craven to get into the back of him a couple times now. Get sure to clear some lap trucks coming out of the pits down on the bottom of the track. 2 more trucks in the top 5 will pit. Moving Craven to 4th. Make that 3rd. Terry Cook still in front of him for position, and Ron Hornaday as well. Hornaday stays out another lap. Craven really looking to get 5 bonus points here, just hoping that Hornaday will have to pit before he does. Terry Cook stays out at least another lap as well. King Diamond Jeff, thanks for tuning in. Of course I remember you, man. Moderator on the chat for a reason. Michael Turner also welcome into the stream. Truck coming out of the pits right in front of Terry Cook. That's going to hold him up. It was the 123 who did. Cook looking to get underneath him right now. Craven with a deep dive into the corner. Really wants to get to the inside of the 10 here. Not quite going to be able to with the lap truck in the way on the outside. Hornaday staying out again this time by. Terry Cook does as well. Craven's got a nice run on him, though, off turn 4. Battle for 2nd. Clear the lap truck. There you see Cook really backing up the corner again. And the 123 on fresher tires gets by Craven. Looking to do the same on Terry Cook. Oh, contact! Craven down on the bottom. Trying to use the lap truck as a pick, but they're not fast enough with that truck being on fresher tires. Cook pounds the wall off turn 2. Hornaday staying out another lap. Craven holds on to the bottom at the 107 there. The 10 will pit. Craven to second. How much longer can he go on fuel, and is Ron Hornaday going to have to pit before the 99? A lot of contact there. Hornaday is on pit road right now. Craven staying out this time by, hoping he can lead this lap. I'm not sure where the 6's pit box is. It is before the start-finish line, so that'll be 5 bonus points for Ricky Craven. He'll pit this time by. That's why he stayed out as long as he did. Really pushing it on fuel, though. But just hoping he can make it on fuel to the end. Oh, man, and he gets hooked right in the middle of the corner by the truck coming out of the pits. I'll have to take another look at that, but it looked like, I don't know. In live time, it didn't feel like I turned down, but it didn't really look like he moved up either. Craven had to get down to pit road. Regardless, he thought he had him cleared. I might have just moved down too early. Caution flag is out. Now, Craven had about a lap lead on the field when that caution happened. Maybe not a full lap on Hornaday. We're going to have to pit for fuel or tires, unfortunately. With this caution coming out, we're probably going to run out of gas on the restart if we didn't. How do I practice commentary? I just by doing it, really. Only way to really practice commentary is just simply doing it. Davey Chumler, thanks for tuning in. That's the second caution of the race today. 2 trucks on the lead lap as a result. And one of them is Ricky Craven. Green flag back in the air. Now, we are going to have to make a pass-through penalty due to the fact that we had caused the caution, still pitted for fuel and tires, but that was so that way it didn't run out on the restart. Now it's contact from Hattori. Trying to force it 3 wide down to the bottom. Craven just can't keep the truck out of everybody's way right now as they're trying to get up to speed still. My goodness. So Craven going to have to take a pass-through penalty within the first handful of laps after this restart, unless we get a caution before that, which is not caused by the 99 this time. I didn't make it. Oh my gosh, I didn't even make any adjustment changes. I'm so stupid. I meant to make adjustment changes first time I pitted. I was so caught up in the fact that the caution came out that I forgot to make adjustment changes. That's on me. I just, mentally, I'm not there tonight. Good grief. I mean, the commentary's alright. I'll give myself that. But from the racing standpoint, it's like I'm brain dead. Couple more laps and Craven will have to make this stop. I don't know if he's going to stay on the lead lap or not. It's going to be interesting. I feel bad for that caution coming out because Ron Hornaday's going to win. I mean, he's got this race in the bag now. Obviously, Montgomery's had a lot of speed today. He can unlap himself. We get a caution, chase Montgomery's back in, and I feel bad if I get a good finish out of this because not only I didn't really have the speed to be able to do it, I had maybe top 15 speed, and that was about it, but top 10 speed borderline. I have no business running in second place right now. That was a caution that was probably more on my fault for chopping down, trying to get into the pits, knowing I could have ran out of gas if I didn't pit that time. We did lead one lap in this race, so we do get 5 bonus points for it. That was legitimate because we did stay out of the pits long enough. Craven will pit this time by. And again, it's going to be a pass-through penalty, so it's not like he has to stop on pit road, so that may allow him to stay on the lead lap. We'll have to wait and see. But he'll be on his way in this time as we have about 89 laps to go. And Craven's on his way in. Don't want to speed. Didn't want to lock the tires up either, but he is in. Still riding with about 4 seconds of damage. Should be able to stay on the lead lap. Now he's got to stay in front of the 6. He will get up to speed, but we know Hornaday is much faster than Ricky Craven. I feel bad I'm in second. Oh, man. It just doesn't feel right, honestly. I wish we would have cycled all the way through there and not... It would have been different if there was a natural caution, not for me accidentally spinning. Yeah, there were only 2 trucks on the lead lap. I literally just ruined this race with that caution. Well, hang on, maybe not. Caution's out again, and it looks like trouble in turns 1 and 2. Just a couple laps after the pass-through penalty for Ricky Craven. It looks like Kevin Harvick just got turned going into turn 1. Not sure who hooked him, but there's definitely contact there. Well, Harvick gets right hooked. A hard hit into the wall, too. Concrete wall, nonetheless. No safer barrier. Head on into turn 1. This is going to give Chase Montgomery the free pass. He'll be back on the lead lap. Craven could pit. This is not a caution he caused. This one was a natural yellow. Unfortunately, there's not that many trucks on the lead lap still. 4 tires and fuel. Gonna take the half around a wedge out of the truck and gonna put 2 pounds of air pressure in to try to help loosen it up just a skosh. Some major adjustment changes. This is our 3rd caution of the race. R6, welcome into the stream also. Got 22 likes. Appreciate you guys smashing the like button today. Bonk, yeah, I like that sound effect. Well, Montgomery back in the race again. Green flag back in the air. Maybe not. He should have gotten the free pass. Oh, what a restart by Craven. Montgomery going to get out in front of Ron Hornaday. Yeah, he should have gotten the free pass, but the free pass wasn't awarded to anybody there. And unfortunately, as a result, Ron Hornaday and Ricky Craven are still the only 2 trucks on the lead lap. Craven's made some adjustment changes, trying to quicken this truck up to give himself a shot to keep up with the 6 and the 18 who have been the class of the field. Hornaday back around the 18 of Montgomery. Clears him. Now Craven to the inside of the 18. Oh, somebody else got the free pass that wasn't Montgomery. I guess that could have happened. Big slide job there by Craven. He clears the 18. John Hamilton battling now for position with the 18 truck of Montgomery. Big block down to the bottom for Craven as he holds on. Trying to run down the 6. Was this the final restart? And is this truck fast enough to keep up with the 6 with the adjustment changes? 2 pounds of air pressure all the way around added. Really see the truck still going up the track, and also half round of wedge taken out as well. Really trying to help. Slightly fresher tires also. Really overdrove 3 and 4 that time. Take our second and final field pass of the race today. We'll go to Kluver in the 50. He is up to 15th. Remember, he started very deep in the field. There's a lot of contact there. Another truck into the wall. We've got another caution. Our 4th of the day. That truck just looked like he missed the corner, because that definitely was not a Kluver. That was a hard hit, too. And backed right down into the 106, and the 106 goes for a ride as well. About went upside down. Nearly on his lid. As he came pounding down into the inside retaining wall off of turn 2. Now Kluver going to the back, being involved in an accident. But that one I'm not as guilty about, because it looked to me like the truck just kept going up the track. Whoever that was. One of the fantasy drivers again. Cautions breeding cautions in the second half of this race at Rockingham tonight. Ethan, thanks for tuning in. Yeah, they're not giving the free pass for whatever reason. I'm not sure why. It seems to be broken at this track in this game or something. But the free pass is not being awarded to the first driver a lap down. We should have had about 3 drivers get free passes with these last 3 cautions, but that has not been the case. Kluver now back to 29th. Trying to run a few laps with Kluver. Now the restart at the front of the field for Craven. Trying to get by the 6 of Ron Hornaday, and I wonder if any lap trucks get back on the lead lap, and then if we get a quick yellow, they'll be back in contention to win. Been extremely difficult to pass all day today. At least Craven wasn't involved in the last 2 cautions of the 4 that have come out. Although his teammate has been. Not a clean day for Roush Fenway Racing whatsoever. 60 laps to go at the start-finish line this time by. We'll go back to Ricky Craven for the rest of the race. Kluver back to 26 with a nice slide job through 3 and 4. And it looks like Chase Montgomery is pulling away. Again, he has probably had the fastest truck in the field today, but he lost some time due to that caution in the middle of green flag pit stops. That's why there's only 2 trucks on the lead lap to begin with. John Hamilton trying to get a lap back. Oh, we got trouble! Craven just hooked that truck right in the middle of the corner. Montgomery's going to be back in this thing. How did that happen? I thought I was behind him. I didn't think I mean, obviously, Craven came down and hooked. Is that the 164? And came sliding back across the track. I think he clipped Terry Cook on the way back up in the middle of the front stretch. A long slide. 3rd wreck that Craven has caused today. This has just been a sloppy race, as mentioned here, for Roush Fenway Racing. It's going to move the 18 to 2nd now. And the fastest truck in the field has another shot to win this race. He's by far dominated and led the most laps. And trying to come from a lap down. That is caution number 5. 5 yellows. Third that is involved Craven. It's going to line him up at third. I mean, the good news is we're not going all the way to the tail end of the field, but lost a spot out of it. Three wide middle on the restart. Old contact with the 18. He's in the wall. Allows Hornaday to get away. Really good restart for the 6. Going to get by all the lap trucks there. Contact off the exit of turn 2 between the 18 and the 99 really held them both up. And we've got a caution back in the pack. We've got trouble again. There's a slow truck on the track that might have blew an engine also. Oh yeah, one truck got spun right in the middle of the front stretch. That was odd. And somebody got hooked right in the middle of the front stretch, and that's going to bring out yet another caution. This one we did not cause, so we're going to pit again. Going to take 2 more pounds of air pressure out of the race truck. This will be the 3rd stop for tires today, so this will give us just 1 more set the rest of the way. Six cautions now. Oh, I'm looking forward to just racing it back in general. NASCAR back. 2 weeks. Get the Rolex 24 next weekend. Not going to really be able to watch it. I'll be in Texas next weekend. Be going to the Royal Rumble. That'll be a lot of fun. Yeah, that was a 6th caution. Third one not involving Craven, and Craven's been involved in 3 of them himself. Green flag's going to be back in the air. This is a fight it out, gut it out finish here. We'll see if anybody will survive this restart. See if we can get more than 5 laps in this time. No, maybe not. I don't know. Terry Cook just drove it way deep into the corner. Pushed one of those trucks that was on his outside way up the hill. Craven trying to get back down to the bottom, and he does on Cook, but overdrives turns 1 and 2 terribly. He was just desperately trying to get back down to the bottom. Ron Hornaday continues to lead. Another good restart for him. Not that great for Chase Montgomery. He's got no business. He has not had the speed the 6 and the... I mean, the 6 and the 18 by far have been the 2 fastest trucks today. Craven's struggling on the restart. He's just struggling in general. They made a couple of adjustment changes on 2 separate pit stops in this thing. It's still not able to really get the 99 loosened up at all. Tori and Cook making contact with stalled out Craven off of turn 4. Craven with the dive into 1, trying to get underneath Terry Cook, locked the front tires up just a bit. Hornaday pulling away. I wonder if the damage on the right side of the truck from when we cracked the wall during that very first yellow right at lap 40, or right around there. It was just before lap 40. I wonder how much that tightened the truck up, because I didn't think it was that tight before then. Tough to say for sure, though. We were definitely not that fast before that, but it wasn't as tight. Less than 50 laps to go. Raven fighting to the inside of Terry Cook. Trying to desperately stay in front of Shikiki Hattori. Almost getting to the inside of Craven. Craven about 1.8 seconds off the race lead. Montgomery on the outside of a lap truck right now in turns 1 and 2. He's getting held up. I thought I was going to take the 10 truck out there. I felt like the truck was going to go up the hill. I wasn't going to have much control of it. That was the case. Luckily, I wasn't underneath him yet. Montgomery finally got to get by the lap trucks. I almost wonder if our best chance is going to be a restart with less than 10 to go so we don't have to worry about the lap trucks. Because even Chase Montgomery is struggling with the lap trucks on the restart. Caution is out, and that was before Hattori crashed after the yellow. Trouble off turn 2. The 137 is spun hard and gets hit underneath by a couple of other race trucks. Another wild ride. There's been some hard hits today at Rockingham. Number 7. It's crazy that these cautions keep coming out because they're not all my fault either. At the start they were, but now a lot of these recent yellows, I think, 3 of the last 4 haven't been. And again, green flag back in the air. Raven trying to be more aggressive to get to the bottom this time, and Hornaday got cleared by a lap truck. This got to get Craven back into it again. Unofficially 38 laps to go. Side by side for the lead. 3 wide potentially. Is Craven going to go for it? He doesn't have the speed the 18 and the 6 does, so he might as well try it. Can't get it to stick, but the fastest truck in the field will. Chase Montgomery to the lead for the first time in a long time at Rockingham. Craven really wanted to push it 3 wide, but he just couldn't get into the corner. There's 2 trucks still in front of the leaders that are going to hold him up here. Craven needs to do whatever he can to keep up with them. This is by far Craven's best restart of the race. But it is just way too tight and dirty air. So he got closer behind those trucks. He goes way up the hill. He'll lose the top 2. Lap truck of Bobby Hamilton going to get by him also. The damage on the right front fender is hurting the 99. Montgomery and Hornaday get by the lap trucks. That lap contact between Bobby Hamilton and Ricky Craven. Hornaday blocking the 10 of Terry Cook. He doesn't want anybody to get back by him again. Hornaday back to the lead as he passes Montgomery through 3 and 4. Montgomery's still stuck on the outside as the lap truck of, I believe, John Hamilton got around him as well. Why does it feel like the truck is tighter now than what it was before? I swear before I made that last adjustment, or really any adjustments, it almost feels like the truck just got tighter when I took the wedge out of it. Some NASCAR 22 stuff going on right now. Maybe the cautions aren't done yet, and Craven gets another shot at it. Hornaday pulling away. Side by side, a couple lap trucks in front of Craven. It's going to allow Craven to close in on them both. Gonna have to be aggressive down into turns 1 and 2. Gets into the 04 rather. Contact gonna hold Craven up though, and that's gonna give Lester a run. $30 to go. Montgomery got back around the lap truck of John Hamilton about a lap and a half ago. He's trying to run down Ron Hornaday. I think he's got the speed to do it. Craven just ran his fastest lap of the race. He's trying to get by the 04 of Bobby Hamilton, and he does. A power move through 1 and 2 that time for Ricky Craven. Problem is can he stay in front of him? No, he does not, and he turns himself, and we have another caution. And we'll try it again, our 8th of the race. I was trying to block him, and it was... I'm trying too hard to try to not lose any positions. I made such probably my best pass of the race. One of the few passes, really, I have made today. But I made one of the best passes of the race I've made. Just to have him get right back underneath me again going into 3. I just cannot hold on. And again, Craven going to the back. Although we're not really going that far back. Actually, I was going to say it kind of saves us, but the problem is now our tires are shot because of that slide. Still have 1 set left, but can't use it because of causing this caution. The 4th time we've caused a yellow today, and that will be our 8th caution of the race. And will this next restart be the final restart now? Billy Carjoy, thanks for tuning in. And another late race restart at Rockingham coming up. Green flag back in the air. Craven trying desperately to get to the bottom of the racetrack, and he does. Fights his way by Montgomery, who got held up by the lap trucks. Hornaday did a great job getting underneath John Hamilton. That was an aggressive restart for Craven to get to 2nd. 25 to go. Lap truck in the way of Ricky Craven. He's going to move him. Moved him to get under him, but couldn't get around him. He's going to try to move him again. And now he'll clear John Hamilton. Chase Montgomery's got about 5 lap trucks between himself and Ricky Craven right now. And here comes the 04 of Bobby Hamilton to the inside of Ricky Craven. Craven will stay in front of him as Hamilton will now move into what would be 4th place in front of John Hamilton. First truck 1 lap down. For whatever reason, we have not had free passes. We would have quite a few drivers on the lead lap right now if that was the case. And again, Craven just can't keep these trucks behind him. He passes them. And here's Bobby Hamilton again on the inside. So he gets off turn 2 a lot better. And now Hamilton crowds Craven off turn 4. Craven up the hill. There, go to the outside. Thank you. Oh, near accident, it looked like. Maybe towards the back of the field because they're spaced apart at the very tail end. .1 seconds off the lead. Montgomery's charging through the lap truck right now. He has already passed 3 of those 5 that were in front of him between himself and Ricky Craven. .19 to go, 18 laps left at the line now. I really got through turns 1 and 2 pretty well that time. Problem for Ricky Craven, though, is going to be to try to keep that pace up all the way around the racetrack on a consistent basis, which he has lacked all day today. You can just see the truck really move up. It's almost like there's a dip on both ends of the track. He got one spot on the restart. Maybe if we get another caution, he's got a chance to get by the 6. We've already had 8 yellows, so 8 chances. I don't know how many more I could ask for at this point. Fastest lap of the day for Ricky Craven. That last lap of a 23.905 might have only been a 10th quicker than Hornaday. That last lap was about a 1.3 second lead down to 1.2. So even with Craven running his fastest lap of the day, he is not putting a dent into Hornaday. That's just how strong the 6 of the 18 have been. Even when Craven is running his best laps in the 23.9s right now, he just doesn't have anything for him. $11 laps to go this time by. Hornaday trying to go for his 3rd win of the season. Maybe he didn't have quite as fast of a race truck as Chase Montgomery, who's still going to go on to lead the most laps today. Even in a day that has been very struggle-filled for Ricky Craven. Both from a driving standpoint, handling of the truck standpoint. Still going to manage a 2nd place finish the way this is going. Maybe could get lucky with a late caution and have a shot to win, but that's going to be his only chance. I mean, he's starting to slip away now. He's really messed up these last couple laps. He's driving it in too deep, trying to catch Hornaday. He just hasn't had the speed to do so. He's got to be careful, though, that Montgomery doesn't catch him for 2nd still if he keeps missing these corners too much. Still got enough time. The 18's had the fastest truck in the field all day today. GC1424, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the $2 super chat. Not going to Dakota. 1 ticket is $130. You haven't bought my ticket yet? I haven't really looked into the ticket prices there yet. Are you sure there's nothing cheaper than $130? I know most NASCAR tickets, like, you can get, like, general admission for road courses for cheaper than that. At least other road course races I've been to. GA and the grass is 60. Yeah, I don't know exactly how the seating is there. I know at Watkins Glen, that's the only road course I've been to where you have to have, like, tickets for a specific whatever corner you're in. But then I've been to some other road course races where you could buy your tickets, but then there's other, like, there's general admission spots where you could sit grandstand-wise, like Mid-Ohio. Granted, it wasn't for a cup race, but even cup races at, like, Road America or something like that, like, you pretty much buy your ticket and you go and sit wherever. I'd have to imagine with F1 going to Dakota, that has probably a lot to do with it there. makes it seem as if it's more of a higher class facility. My Daytona ticket was like $400. Pocono cheap flight for $400. Yeah, not bad. Round trip, I would assume. That'd be a cool... Pocono's pretty nice. I'm glad I went in 2021 when they had the doubleheader, because that was like two of the better Pocono races I could remember, and the fact that they were back-to-back days, I happened to be there for those races, made it even more entertaining. I mean, Larson blowing her tire on the last lap in the last corner was just insane. And it wasn't like it was as much of a Goodyear problem as it was in 2022 either. Like, that would have been more frustrating, I guess, but 2021, you never really saw that happen too much without, like, contact, so that was wild. He just pushed it too hard, trying to keep Bowman behind him for all that time, and then trying to work his way around him, too. Coming to the white flag, this time by Ryan Hornaday. Had probably been the best driver on restarts all day today. Fended off Ricky Craven and Chase Montgomery for a large majority of the end of this thing, as we had 8 cautions, 7 of which in the second half of the race. But he holds on. That caution, second of which in the middle of green flag stops, definitely helped him. One of the few trucks in the lead lap as a result, and that's why there's so many trucks a lap down to the end. The checkered flag is waving. Ron Hornaday will get the win at Rockingham. Ricky Craven ends up with a second place finish, which I was not deserving of by any means, but we did get it. 1.6 seconds off the lead there. Beat and banged our way around Chase Montgomery to at least beat him in today's race. Yeah, third win. And actually, Hornaday led the most laps. He led 102. A lot more than I thought he did. I thought Montgomery led over 100 laps, so I guess not. He led 90, which means that Montgomery does not get the most bonus points, which means that Ricky Craven will actually outpoint Chase Montgomery by 5 points today, despite the fact that Montgomery deserved the top 2 finish, and we probably deserved to finish like 11th through 15th. Borderline top 10, but I don't know. We drove our way up to 15th, and we just kind of stayed there, but we were able to keep up with the cars in front of us, so if we had track position on a couple of them, I think we could have held on to it. But I kind of feel bad I finished in the top 5, though. At best, I was probably like an 8th to 10th place car. At the very, very best. I mean, if we could have strategized our way up to second, that would have been one thing, but having that caution in the middle of green flag pit stops, and even if it was a natural yellow, that would have been nice, but you know, that's just part of playing the strategy game. But in the case that I brought out the caution trying to get to pit road, that's what I feel terrible about. Like, if there was any way to give those points back up, I would, but the problem is I can't really do that. Now, theoretically, we could say, but I wouldn't have known where I would have finished, though. That's the thing. We had so many cautions at the end of the race after the fact. Not all of my doing. There was like 4 yellows that were, you know, AI related there late in the race. You know, who knows where I would have finished. Like, maybe I would have been like 8th place. Could have timed out those last couple restarts well and still got 4th place finish out of it. I mean, that's not impossible. It's more unlikely. 13 lead changes today, 8 cautions for 24 caution laps, 1.6 second margin of victory, an hour, 48 minutes, and 15 seconds total time on today's race. 111.04 miles per hour is the average race speed. We'll check out the top 10 here. Ryan Hornaday with the win. Again, max points day for Hornaday. 30 points. I mean, he's still trying at the championship. Don't count him out of it yet. 5 races to go. We'll see where he's at here in a moment. 5 laps led for Ricky Craven. Only 1 under green flag conditions today, but good enough for 5 bonus points. The other were under caution. Chase Montgomery leads 90 laps today, finishes 3rd. Probably had the fastest truck in the field after a qualified 2nd, leaving a lot of laps at the beginning of the race. John Hamilton ends up finishing in 4th place, and Terry Cook, with one of his better performances of the year, rounds out the top 5. Bobby Hamilton at 6th, Shikiki Hattori 7th, Davis 8th, Claiborne 9th, and Parker rounds out the top 10. Again, only 3 trucks finished on the lead lap. Our teammate Todd Kluver finished in 17th after starting deep in the field in 32nd. And we, in total, had 3 DNFs. Teague and Sheth blew engines on the same lap at lap 73, and then Clausen at lap 141 blew a motor. Sheth was in the top 10 at points coming in. That's probably going to drop him out. And that was after him coming into this race off a win in last week's race at Kansas. So 5 races to go. We have IRP, UPS Speedway, Bristol, Old Spice Speedway, and Daytona. So 3 short tracks, a road course, and a super speedway to round out the year for the Truck Series. And that next race will likely be next week at IRP. Actually, no, probably the week after. Again, for those of you that don't know, I will not be streaming next weekend either. I'm streaming this weekend, but I didn't stream the last couple days. I went to a WWE show. I do plan on flying down to San Antonio for the Royal Rumble this weekend, so I will be out of town. I hit big on FanDuel a couple weeks ago, and the timing is right. I'm like, well, it's not NASCAR season. Let's go to the Royal Rumble. So, kind of, once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, so I really want to go. And SmackDown happened to be in one of my nearest home cities in Detroit last night, so that was kind of fitting that it works out within a couple weeks. But anyway, I will not be streaming next week, so probably not going to get to the next truck race until the week after. But we will be NASCAR 6 racing tomorrow on the channel. It'll be a long race at Old Spice Speedway. It's going to be a marathon, 333 laps. Hopefully we can make it to the finish. That race is going to take over 5 hours. I think we had a Busch race there that was 200 laps. I think that took like 3.5 hours. So it may very well be a 5-hour race tomorrow, but it is going to be a gauntlet to say the least. Chase Montgomery, 132 points out of first. Hornadays closed that gap down with the max points day, and Craven finishing second. If Craven did not finish second place today, which I did not deserve it, I think Hornaday and Montgomery should be less than 100 points out. It's not the case. I'll take what I can get, I guess. Feels cheap, but it is what it is. Todd Kluber just outside the top 10. He's got a shot at it with Sheth having that DNF. Too bad Kluber didn't have a great day either. Old Spice Speedway's a fantasy road course on this game. So yeah, we'll be fantasy road course racing tomorrow afternoon. Noon Eastern Standard Time. Again, I will be running that race. It's going to be a long one, but hopefully you guys tune in. And for anybody that watches the full 5 hours, greatly appreciate it. I think the big thing with that, I was rusty with this game tonight. I think I'll be dialed in tomorrow. I'll have time to be able to practice before the start of our race. Tonight, I didn't really have that because I had to work a full day today. I was tired from last night being out till like 11:30 and then going into work on like 4.5 hours of sleep today. I'm sure that had a lot to do with my sloppy driving tonight. So I would have to imagine that I'll be more dialed in tomorrow. And we'll have a much cleaner race. But I'll tell you what, we get into like 4 or 5 hours into that race, we get closer to the end, I think fatigue may set in. It's going to be interesting. I've never raced a race that long before. I mean, we've ran some Coke 600s that have taken close to 4 hours on the channel before in other games, but I mean, this is going to be every bit of 5 hours, 5.5 hours. It is going to be a wild one. It might not be the most entertaining race. It might get very spread out at times, but knowing that it is that long of a race, anything can happen. We'll see how it's going to go. We'll see if it can hang on to the points lead and go into the season finale in a couple weeks at Talladega with a shot at the title. I'll see you guys then. Have a good rest of your Saturday night. Enjoy some NFL football if you guys are going to watch that. And I will see you back at Better Than Ever again tomorrow.